So too early to speak my whole mind, but after the first six books, six, 7 books of the Bible that I've read in the last 2 weeks, um, a big part of me is almost saddened that I expected something very different. However, the way that I see, I've also been on a journey of meditating, um, delving in, writing, contemplating, and trying to figure out ego because I feel that there are certain things that I am egotistical about, whether it's pride or whether it's judgment. I believe that that has lingered around, although many other things such as anger and and habits um, habits and thoughts, habits and actions, those have diminished, but ego has remained. So I've determined that there's some good in evil. So far, what I've determined about ego is that it is a set of judgments. And every day, as much as I want to say I have no ego, every day, most moments as I walk through the path of life, I'm making judgments, based on cause and effects, based on history, based on my experience. I see a car swerving, I see somebody saying something, I immediately make judgments. Oh, this is where they're going with that. Oh, I've seen this happen before. I've seen that. I'm not looking at things for what they truly are, but it's saving my life, and that's where the self comes into place. That's where the ego comes into place, I think, is the necessity for me to live, to survive. So I think of me. When I see somebody being somewhat aggressive, maybe not towards me, but towards somebody else, I can see, well, this could lead into something. So I prepare myself. I make a judgment that I may have to defend here or I may have to flee here. So I'm making a judgment. And that's the ego because that's a judgment that's not necessarily true. I'm making a judgment call there. So with that said, I know that almost seemed like I'm going out on a tangent. With that said, as I read the seventh book of the Bible and I am destroyed again, especially, reading Joshua and Judges, they're just very, very, very harsh books. Um, it's the history that we rather probably not read. Um, but with that said, so far the first 7 books, I judge them the way that I judge Christmas, um, the way I judge Christianity in many ways. I attend a Christian church. I don't believe in every rule, every way, everything that Christianity says. Um, Christmas. I know Christmas derived out of a pagan holiday. I know where the Christmas tree came from. I know where the lights came from. I know where the green, red. I know this. However, and there's community and there's culture. I don't think that there's a community, a communal celebration, more beautiful, more inviting, more giving, more pure than the energy at Christmas time, worldwide, or at least in my world in the United States. So knowing the history, knowing the past, you know, I make a judgment call for the self that this is good. Although I know it's not derived of good, although I know I don't agree with the past, I know I don't agree with the history, I believe this is good now, for what I'm taking it. I filter a lot through myself, through my mind, through my ego, through my experiences. Therefore, I take what's good, and Christmas is good. Um, Although I know where they derive from. Same thing with Christianity. There's a slew of different churches, different religions, and no religion at all that I could attend or not attend. I choose to go to a Christian church or a Baptist church or a Southern Baptist church or a non denominational church with a Christian theme, um, and take my family there and filter the lessons to my family and obviously to myself, what I allow in, because of the good that it does. I believe in community. I believe that all those people are truly trying to become a better person, trying to live a righteous life. And they all know that they are far from perfect and extremely imperfect. And they want to cope with life and be like, I don't want to be miserable and depressed because I am imperfect. I want to do um, what's best, and I want to learn, and I want to have a communal family. Um, Therefore, it's good. Same thing with the first 7 books of the Bible that I have read. Um, there's a lot that it's had me teary eye. Um, it hurts my soul because I am a compassionate man, and I have mercy, and I have forgiveness, and I have children, and I have brothers, and a brother, and I have a sister, and I have a wife, and I have a mother, and I have aunts and uncles, and a lot of this history is it's all those people are sacrificed and hung, and in so many ways, and women are raped, and the parent, it's in many ways disgusting. But so is many ways of the pagan holidays, and many ways of the Christian, you know, old traditions. However, there's a lot of beauty in it. There's a lot of wisdom in it, from Genesis, from, the giants, from Noah, from Abraham, from, there's so many lessons of, differences and languages and inspiration and loyalty and discipline and not understanding and moving forward and um, so many, a slew of wisdom and good things. Therefore, filtering it out through it, it's good. Now, if that was happening now, would that be good? No, not at all. Not one bit. Same thing with some of the histories of Christmas, some of the histories of Christianity. But we're not living in the histories. We look back at the history and we could agree or disagree. It's okay. We don't have to agree. Um, we have to accept. We gotta accept that that's part of the history of that particular thing. Um, do I buy into that? Nope, not at all. I can't buy into any of that. reason I didn't go into the armed forces is because I could not commit um, murder because I needed to accept that that was what needed to be done. I'm just not that. Um, but with that said, I could see where the culture, where the lessons, where the practices, where the meditations, where the prayers, where the awareness, where the discipline. I can see all the beauty in all of that. And that's good. That's good in every which way. That's good in every which way that Christmas is good. That's good in every which way that, Christianity is good. That's good. I mean, in every which way, every way of life is good to a certain extent. I love the little picture I posted the other day that, a woman is asking a Buddhist monk, you know, how to be a good Buddhist. And the monk says, "What's a Buddhist?" Because it's not about the ism. It's not about Christianity. It's not about Judaism. It's not about any ism. It's about being a good citizen of this beautiful green earth and, appreciating the life that God has given us and doing our best with it, creating beauty with it, and gaining understanding from every which way and which life we could find, and I could gain understanding from the communal Christmas. I could gain understanding from Buddhism, Christianity, Judaism, Taoism, Hinduism. I mean, there's so much beauty out there. And although we may not agree with the beginnings, we're not living in the beginnings. And we don't have to agree. We have to accept that that happened. And we have to decide whether what we could take from it now, if we choose to follow it or live with it or live based on it to a certain extent, if it's good now. And it is. And I'm certain as I continue to study the Bible, it would only get better. That's my train of thought for right now. My review for the first 7 books without mentioning one piece of anything that I've read, just an overall.